Hey guys, Ken from Rogers Rigs. Cold smoking is what you have to do to smoke cheese. You can't get your temperature over 85, 90 degrees depending on your cheese. Always end up with a melted mess. And so I started looking into it a little bit, some of the equipment that you would need, other than just basically a container that'll hold your smoke. It's a smoke tube. So I said, well, I'm going to take my cheese and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the freezer and give it a better chance as well, which works out really good. But I didn't have a smoke tube. And I live in northern New York, and there's not a lot of places to go, and honestly I didn't feel like waiting for 3, 4, 5 days for something to come in from Amazon or drive more than an hour to go get something that, you know, it's like a $20 item. So I picked up a fairly common household item from our local dollar store, and this is going to save you money, and it's going to work really, really well. So here it is. It's your common household fine mesh strainer. I got about 5 hours of smoke out of this one little thing using about a handful or two of pellets. It's just really so simple. Again, we just remove that plastic piece if it has one. And that's just to make sure nothing melts. But flip it over. Take your finger, put it right in the middle, push straight in. And if it doesn't want to stay, just push a little further than you think it needs to go. But all you're doing is creating like a moat, and that's it. And so what you're going to do is you're going to start your pellets, you'll pile them up starting here. And I'm using the handle as a reference for myself to make sure it's just, you know, I know where to start and finish. Because you're going to want a space here. You don't want to leave, you don't want to just fill this thing and leave it, because it won't last as long. We want to create like a racetrack here. So we're going to start here by piling the pellets, and we're going to run them all the way around here until we get back here just on the other side of this handle again. So we're going to leave ourselves a gap about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And this way you're only burning from one end, because you're not going to need, you know, a ton of smoke. This thing will provide more than enough from coming from one end. If you did two, you would obviously reduce your time and use pellets you don't need to. You could probably do this with chips as well, but I haven't tried it. I know that the pellets work. And you'll end up with a good section, you know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch right here, where you end up where it's burnt. And then you basically at that point you blow it out and let it start smoldering, and it'll just burn right around here. All right, so we've got it all set with our pellets. We're just going to adjust them a little here, a little space. Just want enough space here where they're going to only burn from one end. This will extend our burn time. We have our torch, and we're just going to start up our pellets here on the one end. Give them a couple minutes to burn, because all we really need is just them to smolder. A couple minutes, we'll blow it out if we need to. Let her smolder. And in the meantime, we'll get the rest of the smoker ready for the cheese. One of the great things about running a homemade smoker tube like this is that I can still actually handle it. I'll show you guys in a second. I left the handle right on there, so I can still move this around if I need to and adjust it if I feel like it's too close to anything and giving off a little bit too much heat. But I don't think it will. It should be just fine the way it is. And as you can see, it's still smoldering. And I got the old Masterbuilt smoker here, and I can just grab this handle. I'm going to put it down as low as I can get it, and I'll still be able to play with that whenever I want. So we're not using any heat source except for those pellets there, so we ought to keep the heat really low. We're going for somewhere in the neighborhood around 85 tops, maybe 90. All right, and our 3 contestants for the day, we have a Colby Jack cheese, a mild cheddar cheese, and a sharp cheddar cheese. I froze these ones last night knowing I was going to do this, because obviously we want to keep things as cold as possible. Let's go ahead and put these in, and I'm going to put them on the top rack of the Masterbuilt here. And I'm going to keep them all to the, I've got the fire on the right hand side, so I'm going to keep everything to the left hand side so there's no direct heat going that way. And then once I blow this out, they ought to be pretty good. Okay guys, so we're back out for our 1 hour check on things, and we're gonna see where we're at here. We obviously got some good smoke going, and look at that. You can see through that smoke. Let it clear out for a second here, and we definitely have some smoke color showing up. So I'm gonna do a quick flip on these. It's still very cool. The cheese is definitely thawed out some, and as you can see, our own homemade smoke tube, which is more like a smoke racetrack or a corral or something, is working wonderfully. So we're looking good. We're gonna give this a little more time, probably another hour or two, and go from there. All right guys, we're almost 2 hours in. Let's see what we got here. Our temp, as you can see, we're running below 100. Lots of good smoke still. Let that clear out for a second. Look at this. Keeping our shape. Look at that goodness. She's doing quite well. So after about 2 hours, our homemade smoke tube type device, just a strainer, which is filled about 80% of the way, just left the gap between it, and it's still smoking, just smoldering away with those pellets. We got no melting going on. The cheese is cool. I'd say we're done. We've gotten the cheese back in, and we're going to cut our bags. I got these standard size, I believe they're a quart bag. I could be wrong, but they're standard size 1 pound, what you would fit in there for 1 pound of like hamburger is what we would use. So they're pre-made bags, so this one's already got a seam on the bottom already done. We've got our blocks of cheese, and I think they're just gonna fit right in. I may have just cut a bag for nothing, but we're gonna try it anyway. We're gonna put it right in there, and we're just gonna vacuum seal this. We'll seal it up real good. Because in about a week or two, they say to leave them for about a week or two vacuum sealed. And then your flavor will maximize throughout the whole process, and you'll get your real smoky flavor. Apparently, if you try it before letting it do this sort of aging process, it ends up where the flavor isn't, I guess, hasn't matured. We're now vacuum sealed, and we can put that in the fridge and let it sit. All right, guys. So you've seen we did our cold smoke video, and I did 3 different types of cheese. The first one was a Colby Jack, the second was a white sharp cheddar, and the third one, mild cheddar, a yellow cheese. And it's actually been a couple weeks now. The first 2 we actually took out, and the first one was the white cheddar, and it was about a week, and it actually came out very, very good. And then for Thanksgiving, we took out the Colby Jack one, and that one came out very good as well. Let's cut this one open and take a look. We've got some really awesome smoke color. The texture didn't change on the cheeses, which is great. So I thought it might. Still has a great yellow color to it. Try this. Wonderful smoky smell. Great flavor. And this, like, I vacuum sealed this, and I could still smell it through the packaging when I took it out of the fridge when I moved things around. But wonderful flavor. This is actually the best one of them all, I think. It will not cost you a whole lot of money to do. We get the other ones go a couple weeks longer, so about 2 weeks longer, 3 weeks total, I believe it was. Really good for like cheese and crackers, that kind of thing on a platter. And everybody really enjoyed them, but our favorite one definitely had to be that mild cheddar. This is something that like I said, since we really enjoyed it, we're going to use it for things like gifts for family. So we're planning on doing some more in the next few coming weeks to get them ready for Christmas. Thanks again for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Put those alerts on, a little bell in there so you guys get all the newest things that we're doing, and we'll see you guys in the next video.